Hello, welcome, God bless you. So this one is how to lessen homelessness and black privilege and all minority privilege. It's so out of control and ridiculous in America. The discrimination against whites is really not okay. I mean, and I've known people, whether they have kids or not, whether you're single or a couple, if you're white, especially if you're white without kids, you're not getting help. And even if you do go through all the hoops, I mean, I've literally met people that get $16 a month for food. That's their food stamps. $16 a month if you're white. That's not okay. It's really prejudice, especially with the blacks. I mean, they have Black history. They have black YouTube channels. Heaven forbid if you actually say anything on them. How dare you? You leave us alone. It's like, you know what? Once white people stop flipping the bill for your existence, and once white people stop being discriminated because they're not black or Mexican, then it will be your deal. But as long as white people are flipping your bill for your education, for your housing, for your food, for what was it? I was someplace and they actually had, the government would compensate people from violent crimes. And of course it was in a black neighborhood. It was advertised. Once white people stop flipping the bill for the black community, then it will be black issues. But at the moment, it's also a white issue because we're paying for you. And then when someone like me actually needs help, I'm not allowed help because I'm the wrong color. That's really inappropriate. And I mean, you have black awards. They have different, to get into education, they really don't need, they just have to be like, hey, look at my skin, it's black. Oh, GPA? Pfft, that's only for white people. Come on in. And they actually have, and I was listening to one channel, and she was flipping out about how if you're black in a black community, do whatever you can to get to a white area if you need hospital. Because blacks don't get as good help. And it's like, and of course they're like, it's racial. And it's not racial. It's your discriminatory ways that you've set up. It's like blacks, even to be a doctor, do not need the same GPA as whites. They're held at completely different standards. I even had a friend, she's going for her MBA, like the black in her class that she had to work with, he could like barely read and write. She's like, oh my gosh, like, I think he may be at second grade. And she brought it up to the instructor, like, this isn't fair. I'm having to do all the work. He's not doing anything. He can't even like read stuff. He's like, yeah, but we have a quota we need to meet. So deal with it. It's really not okay. And it's not okay to think that blacks are incapable of learning, because they are. This slave ghetto mentality of everyone owes me, and you have to stop and, acknowledge the fact that I'm black, when at the same time they're pushing that, color doesn't matter, but I can't go apply for anything and not have to, because even if you don't check down what color you are, the person working with you does. We're never going to be like blind to color as long as we keep having to state what we are, and as long as there's different rules for different colors. I mean, goodness gracious, the whites ended slavery for the blacks. We're going on 200 years now. Stand on your own 2 feet already. And it's just ridiculous. It's just there's so much black only in America. I mean, if whites did that, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. If we don't bow down and go, oh my gosh, a black person was in a movie. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. I mean, the black community is hit up in a hissy fit and boycotting. I mean, you want all this stuff just because the color of skin, but then you don't want to acknowledge skin color. It really doesn't make any sense. But yeah, and I have across the board, and I've had friends who have had experience of one gal, her daughter got injured and she had no kids, and she went to go sign up for help. She's like, that's why we pay our tax money, and it straight on the door said only mothers and illegals, and they would not help her. They wouldn't even give her an application or anything. You really up the creek with no paddle if you are white in this nation. The discrimination against whites are not okay, and the absolute privilege given to black people just because their skin is different is not appropriate. It really needs to end. So yeah, if you wanna help this community stop black privilege and minority privilege, I mean, look around. It doesn't matter what state I've been in, the mass majority are white. I know you can like go on a site and they're like, oh no, really, it's more blacks than anyone. No. And you say that you know, the homeless are costing you too much. No, having nearly over 50% of the black community on welfare, in government housing, in public schooling, and in the prison system, that's what's costing you. Seriously, look around. The excessive majority of homeless are white because we cannot get help.